Let's all do something good today.
Hey y'all, welcome to Dad Does Dinner. I'm Chase, and today I'm cooking up some refried beans. These are going to go with our stuffed peppers that I'm making tomorrow. The popularity of Dad Does Dinner is smoldering like wet firewood. We hit the double deuce mark in YouTube subscribers. Viewership is now intercontinental. I noticed one of my old professors from high school who lives over in Malta is a regular viewer now. Hey, Mr. Marlowe. Our sympathies go to Miss Marlowe and all you quarantined housewives who aren't stuck with a husband as nice and charming as I am. Due to my newfound international popularity, I want to clean up some of the cooking terms I've been using. For example, yesterday in our chorizo episode, I talked about the difference between warming and toasting spices. Today, I want to take the opportunity to clean up my use of the terminology of garlic. Growing up cooking with my mom, this was a head of garlic, this was a clove of garlic, and that is 100% correct. However, as I watch more and more of the Food Network and see my fellow TV food stars on, I've noticed a wide variety in their use of garlic terminology, and it kind of threw me off a little bit. For example, I've heard this referred to as a whole clove of garlic, this referred to as a section of garlic or a pod of garlic. So I just assumed I was making one of my rare mistakes and using the wrong terminology. After some quick research on Al Gore's life-changing invention of the internet, I did discover that indeed this is a head of garlic, this is a clove of garlic, and that is the proper terminology. This can also be referred to as a bulb of garlic, however that's a more common usage when talking about planting garlic. In previous episodes, I'm sure you've noticed my use of the bell pepper. I usually use the stoplight variety, which can be found in the grocery stores that come in the red, yellow, and orange packages. I use this variety of pepper for a couple of reasons. Essentially, the red, yellow, and orange bell peppers we see at the store are green bell peppers that have been allowed to ripen to their full potential. You may notice when eating green bell peppers, though it does have some sweetness, they also carry with it a earthy, almost grassy-like quality to them. That's basically because they are an unripened fruit. Also, because green bell peppers can be harvested before they are fully ripened, it makes them cheaper to produce and cheaper to sell. Thus, the price difference you see between green bell peppers and then the stoplight peppers that you find in the store. I know some of you out there are sensitive to green bell peppers, and after eating them, you sound like you're walking around with a duck in your back pocket. And this happens many times that you eat an unripened fruit. If you are one of these unfortunate people, try switching to the red, yellow, or orange variety. You may find the effects of the bell pepper are greatly lessened when you eat the fully ripened variety. It's time to go inside and start rendering some bacon to start building the flavor in our refried beans. All the sauteed vegetables that I use in this are done on a rough dice. Just try to get everything roughly the same size. Also note that for this recipe, I did not soak the beans. When cooking beans, if you want to keep them whole, soaking them is a good idea because this allows the water to gradually fill up the bean and they're much less likely to split when cooking. In this recipe, because we're going to end up pureeing the beans, I'm not concerned with whether they split or not. Start with a cold pan on medium-low heat and render a half pound of bacon. Starting with a cold pan allows you to get the most drippings out of this bacon. For the spice blend, 1 teaspoon cumin, a teaspoon of oregano, Mexican if you can get it. Mexican's a little bit stronger flavored. A half teaspoon of coriander, a half teaspoon of fresh cracked black pepper, a half teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon really brings out all the flavors of Mexican cuisine. Whisk together over low heat and warm until fragrant. These are fragrant and you can see they're just starting to come together. That's because the natural oils are coming out of the herbs and spices and bringing a little moisture to the party. Like many of your places of operation, we are facing staff shortages here at Dad Does Dinner, and we had camera operator error. What you missed seeing was the addition of a diced onion, bell pepper, stalk of celery with the leaves, and 4 cloves of roughly chopped garlic being mixed in with the rendered bacon. Saute the vegetables for about 5 minutes until soft. The garlic has become fragrant, and now I will add our spice blend, including 2 whole bay leaves. Make sure you fish those bay leaves out before pureeing the mixture. The smells in this kitchen are awesome. I've thoroughly rinsed a pound of black beans, and we'll add these to the pot. And now 4 cups of warm turkey broth. Remember, you don't want to add cold broth. We want to try to keep our temperatures from shifting from cold to hot. Increase the heat almost all the way to high and bring to a boil. These are just starting to boil. I'm going to reduce this heat down to a very low temperature, and I'll cover and simmer for a couple of hours. The beans are simmering on the stove, and I will check the liquid level about every 20 minutes. Because I'm going to make refried beans out of these, I don't want as much liquid as I would as if I were making, say, a pot of red beans or beans for soup. Y'all know I always give a shout out to my buddy in San Angelo, Mike, and his gang at One Arm Brewing and Barbecue. Mike is a little bit responsible for these videos. Mike and I became fast friends almost 10 years ago when we began serving together on the Region 6 Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival Committee. KCACTF is an awesome organization that helps students by providing them scholarships, opportunity, and recognizing outstanding work. Mike and I first met in Shreveport, Louisiana during one of our Region 6 meetings. And after an infamous trip to Margaritaville, in which I won't provide any details, we found out that we could really laugh a lot together. As our friendship grew, we immediately noticed that we had a love for many things, including a passion for food. My wife is always telling me I should video my cooking process and throw it up on the internet and become the TV food star that I am today. And last fall, I videoed my brisket making process. You've probably seen episode 1, and you notice the lack of stellar production values that I've developed over our last 15 episodes. I videoed that in the fall and never got around to putting it together. Well, when the coronavirus hit, Mike is not the type who handles boredom easily. He's a creative fellow and always is looking for a creative output, and he posted a video of his process of one of his cooks that he did. Inspired by that, I decided to throw together my brisket video. 15 episodes later, here we are. So Mike, thanks for the inspiration. Mike's a home cook just like I am. We enjoy the same type of foods. We like it spicy, we like it bold and full of flavor. Head on over to his YouTube channel, that's One Arm Brewing and Barbecue. I guarantee you're gonna see something that you like. With most of us under stay-at-home orders during the coronavirus pandemic, creative outlet has become very important. As you're searching for things to do, don't forget about your fellow man. Reach out, do something good for somebody else. Making masks, packing food for food banks, anything that you can do to reach out to help somebody else. It makes this whole world a better place. After 2 hours of simmering, the beans have a nice creamy texture and they're ready for the immersion blender. I did check this every 20 minutes, and throughout the cooking process I added about another 1.5 cups of liquid. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can carefully put these in a regular blender and use that. Now I will just blend until smooth. These are nice and creamy. I will cover and refrigerate overnight. The beans are in the fridge, and tomorrow I'll put them out and do the actual refrying of them. A couple of items to note. First of all, they are ready to eat right now. Yes, when they do sit overnight, they are going to develop more flavors, but those beans are tasty right now. If I were to eat them right now, I probably would have taken out some of that liquid and then put them in a pan with maybe just a little bit of more bacon drippings and cook them down to a pasty consistency that we're accustomed to seeing with refried beans. You know, cooking things like refried beans, it's just like cooking stews, soups, gumbos. It's really a highly personal experience. There's no right or wrong way to be doing that. Sometimes with the vegetables, I go ahead and throw in a diced jalapeno or a chipotle. I opted not to this time because I know the chorizo dish that I'm making tomorrow is highly spicy already, and I didn't want to up the spice factor too much for my family. Cook with what you like. Cook food that tastes good to you. That's what's most important. With the exponential growth of our viewer audience here at Dad Does Dinner, we are now popular in less than 10 households. You can imagine that the requests are piling up. Redhead number 2 always wants a veggie option. I got stopped in the grocery store the other day by somebody wanting gluten-free recipes, and more than a couple of you have asked for ingredient lists with each of our episodes. Well, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we've had to let all our staff go here at Dad Does Dinner, at least all the staff that aren't related to me and work for free. My iMac died and the IT department's out on furlough, so I can't do any editing on my computer. So everything I do is relegated to working on my phone, and that takes a lot of tedious time. As soon as this pandemic's over, we'll get back up and running to full speed, and I'll see if I can get those requests filled more efficiently. Hang in there, y'all. You know, my struggles during the coronavirus really have been nothing more than inconveniences. I'm grateful for all the things that I do have. I'm not having to worry about my job or any other income-related matters. I've gotten to spend a lot more quality time with my family, and though sometimes they may get tired of me, it's really been good for all of us. What I really have found in this time is I really miss my students. I'm a theater professor, and we have a lot of interactivity with our students. And while, yes, it's sad that I miss them, I am grateful for the relationships that we have formed. And I'm grateful to have such great students that I truly miss. That's all for now. Y'all tune in tomorrow when we put together our chorizo stuffed peppers along with a few other goodies. We'll see you next time.
It don't take much to drive those clouds away. Let's all do something good today.